Good morning, and welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. And we're about to go wild today. It's Cuppa Grata. Cuppa Grata. I love Cuppa Grata time. It's like my favorite time in the morning. It's also early in the morning here in California, 8 o'clock to be exact. And actually, I am so grateful today to be here because you just don't even know. I have two co-squirts. They're going to blow your mind. So, Cup of Grata with a shot of expression and two squirts of reality. And the squirts of reality today are going to actually show you how you can unlock your life's potential and the hidden secrets that are going to be revealed through an event that's coming up. And I have all the links for that and more. So, welcome. You guys know who this is. We've got Leland and we've got Michael Ronin. Welcome to Cup of Grata. It's so good to have you guys here. And Leland, we've had you on before. Michael, you are new to us. So, I'm going to tell everybody really quickly. Michael is a lifelong martial art practitioner, Qigong meditation and breathwork specialist, which I dig, a licensed corrective massage therapist, Chinese tonic herbalist, naturopath, food healing professor, raw food chef, and author, among other aspects. And he's dedicated his life to sharing his gifts. It's amazing, amazing. And we all know Leland is a master yoga instructor, breathwork and meditation specialist, and mental health professional, along with being one of our gorgeous vets. And welcome, you guys. Seriously, this is going to be so much fun. So, just so you all know that are joining, we're going to be doing some breath work. We're going to be also stepping into a meditation. So, get ready for that. And without further ado, welcome, Leland and Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you. We're super honored to be here.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
I am stoked. Woo! So, all right, check it out. So I was asking them prior to coming on, how did you guys meet? And you know, that's the thing is this world is it's such a trip. Like I met Leland because I was out in Arizona, and usually what I have found is when you say the sacred yes to life, you meet the most extraordinary people along the way.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm just sitting here and so much gratitude for you two being here right now, plus what you're getting ready to teach.
I love that you
So,
just said that when you say yes to life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's so true. It's so true. And what we resist persists, right? Lena and I were just talking about that.
Always. Oh my God. Yeah. We were talking about that this
Yeah.
morning. And
This morning,
that
yeah.
that is one of the best things ever is say yes to life. And most of the time you don't even notice that you're not saying yes to life, right?
no,
So,
no,
yeah.
no, totally. You're just like,
Because you're in the
well,
soup.
totally, yeah. And if you're in that, if the sacred yes is different, it's just like this, it's this powerful moment of knowingness where it's a surrender all to your God source energy within, to that divinity within you. And so I'm so grateful that you guys are here because
Mm.
what we're getting ready to talk about, and this is what I'm excited about here, is to unlock your life's potential. Now,
Mhm.
now see, here's the thing. Okay, I'm getting excited because you guys look. Michael and Leland have created an integrative educational system that's centered around total body reeducation. Unlocking your life's potential is a total body re-education. Now, I was just discussing the fact that I had surgery not long ago. I am 54. Can we please start re-educating my body?
Absolutely.
We got you. We
Yeah.
got
Please.
you.
All right, I'm over here. Get me. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing too, like we talked about beforehand, not only how Michael and I came together, but the fact that on one side I've got yoga and breath work and all these other pieces, and then on the
mhm.
other side it's like me and we're the yin and the yang basically of brotherhood. Like when the universe put me and Michael together, I was like, oh my God, you got all the pieces that I don't, and the one piece that crosses is our breath work, right? And
Yeah.
of course breath connects you with everything. That's 95% of our life. So it's just amazing that he's got all these pieces, qigong and martial arts and all these things that I don't have. And then vice versa, same thing for me. And we just cross fields. And the moment we met, it was like he said before the interview, like we knew. We were like, oh my God, bro, where you been?
Yeah. 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 It's funny too because it was, I don't know, early. It was at midday this just happens that he ends up in the same area that I was in at the, for this wedding. And like Leland just said, I mean, he walked in and I'd come hobbling because I was using my cane. And I come hobbling in at the time after having just had that surgery, and he's like, hey, it was just like, oh, hey, when you know that person, yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I know you, my soul knows your soul. I got you,
Right, totally right.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Okay, so what is re-educating our bodies?
That's a huge piece, and there's so many parts of it. And with total body re-education, the piece, and Michael can speak to this as well, is you have the body, but it's the Christ consciousness that we're serving, right? The mind, the body, and the soul. All pieces have to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Mindset has to be taken care of. The body itself has to be taken care of. And then you have to express that universal love for yourself. And then that's just going to radiate, from the center of you.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is when you look at kind of like what Leland was saying, because you have these different energy bodies, right? You got your physical body, the energetic body, right? And the spiritual body, and total body re-education as the completed system, right, is not only dealing with mindset, which I love that Leland led with mindset, because that really, what is it? An eighth of your brain, right, is the conscious brain, right? And 7/8 is the subconscious, right?
Yeah.
Well, that in that 7/8, that's like the right side of your brain. That's where all of your creativity, your law of attraction stuff, right? All that happens there. But we spend the majority of our time in the left side of the brain, right? With this, I have to make this happen. This is going to happen because I say this thing, And as a result, we're actually severely limiting our potential, right? So there's that piece. But in the series itself, not only are we dealing with the mindset, we're dealing with the body, and the pieces of the body that we're dealing with are going to be dealing with, not only breath work, nutrition, physical fitness, stretching, all that, all these different pieces, and doing it in such a way where, how many people have had an injury or had an event come up, and so as a result, they're like, well, that's great, but I can't do that athletic thing anymore. I can't do this thing, right?
That would be me.
Right. And so, and the thing is that through time and through these life lessons, including having been a martial artist my whole life, all the injuries I've had, I mean, I've blown out and repaired my knees myself multiple times, having had only one surgery on one of the knees. And that was directly during when my femur was broken, and they did it at the same time. Okay. So I'm no stranger to body pain and all that stuff. And yet I can tell you that through these teachings that we're sharing, not only has certain things been developed, like micro stretching, right? Things that don't require you to torque yourself into weird positions or keep up with certain paces, right? But how to be able to take that slightest little, so you just had your surgery, right? Perfect.
Correct. Oh, as a matter of fact, let me jump in.
Yeah.
Because I just heard micro, and I like that word, stretching. I'm like, I caught that. I did. I felt that. So I actually did try to do yoga about 4 weeks out.
Oh.
And
oof.
So
yeah.
I can only imagine.
A little too soon.
Looky here. I was like, I'm not gonna just like allow myself to get old and decrepit and not be able to move. I'm gonna get in there and just do some yoga. So now that you say micro stretches, tell me all right, guys, what's a micro stretch?
So here's a perfect example. So that when you were laying in bed, that first little bit of time where you were not getting out of bed, right?
Yes.
And peeing was like a real decision to be made, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it. So did you notice how you could be laying there totally still, and yet just by going like this, it was like, oh man, I feel that in that area, right? And that's because of the fascial plane of the body ultimately, right? And then that's been cut through and whatnot, right? Okay. So, however, because of that notion, if we take that thought process on how the fascial plane binds and the constant tear and repair and what happens in the scar tissue linking and shortening and so on and so forth, Now you've got your situation where you got real-time awareness of like that slightest little shift does that. Well, what if you're going to do a basic stretch? Let's say we throw your leg up on the table. Okay. This is your foot, legs out. It's on the there, legs out on the thing, right? What is the thing that most people do, right? They lean over, bending their back, leaning into that stretch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on one hand, you're getting a stretch, but you're also borrowing from other muscles in order to enact that thing. And in a lot of times, you're actually causing more damage or increasing the potential risk of injury as a result, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if you're in that same scenario, only now you're slightly shifting your body forward, never trying to go down to the leg, okay? And so it's the slightest little movement, and then now the slightest little movement this way or that way causes a massive hamstring stretch, for the example of perspective. This is actually a real thing. The goal of stretching, like the goal of meditation is not to get good at meditation, the goal of stretching is not to get good at stretching. The goal of stretching is to take the exact muscle that you want to stretch and the subsequent fibers accordingly as you desire to stretch them, and only stretch those muscles with limited motion, right? It's the less is more, right? Or as my grandfather used to say, right? Work smarter, not harder.
Right. Okay. I'm all about stretching, and that makes you work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it. There's a lot of us out there that aren't stretching
Because
of the fact that it hurts.
which compounds the issue more.
Exactly.
Right?
Just makes it all. It's a no-win situation. I can promise you. You know, I want to tell you guys that I had the inventor of the Cooch ball on.
I saw
And
that.
dude, on the flip, it's the Gooch.
Yeah.
Right? Because of stretching. Stretching is a thing. Like, we're not stretching our bodies properly. But anyway, I just had to bring it
Well,
up.
you
I
know,
was
what
just
you
sitting here thinking how you guys are right now. This seems to be a collective message is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
This is really serious stuff, you guys. This is for the collective. I've been brought up in my world that stretching and all that stuff. I mean, remember PE class? It was torture.
Yes.
Well, and
The
that's the thing.
hell?
You actually brought up because you spoke. I'm glad that you hit it again, because twice now you've kind of actually spoken to that, which is that from the time we were kids, you were taught improperly how to stretch.
Yes. Yes.
Now you could even take that a step further on a side note, right? And say, when was the last time you had a reading class where you learned how to read, right? There's the whole nother subject, but but the thing is that in PE you're learning like these big swooping motions, and then let's go. You take a lot of sports. It's like a couple minutes of stretch maybe, and the stretching is intensive, and then it's like go do this thing, and then where's the cool down stretch?
Right. Yeah, that's like one of the biggest pieces, right? And it's one of the things that we notice in yoga as well. One of the things that a lot of people intuitively do that is so bad for them is they look over at somebody else and they see the stretch that person is doing, and they force themselves into this stretch. Like Michael said, borrowing most likely from your lower back, the latissimus dorsi, all these places that shouldn't be stretched when you're targeting your legs or your arms or whatever else, because it's all about the visual for everybody. And that's what they've taught us in school, right? Big stretches, lean forward, really wring it out. Yeah. And then all you're doing is focusing on a whole ton of muscles instead of really honing in on that one. And in yoga, the biggest key is isometric holds, and just you don't even have to get that far into a warrior 1 or a warrior 2 or any of these things. You can literally, just like Michael said, dip down just about an inch or 2 from a straight leg position and watch that feel that you get in the back of the hamstring or in the front of the quad. It's absolutely amazing when you focus on the micro stretching aspect of it, how much you get out of it, way more than what you're getting when you do the other stretches.
Yeah, and let's face it, again, you can't reiterate this enough, right? Less injury. The more you can reduce the chances of injury, now you're not going to walk away sore. You're also not going to walk away going, oh, I felt great, and all of a sudden now I pulled something or
Right.
right, and what I see so often. Yeah, right. What I see so often is people actually end up, because of that overstretching, you actually create this issue where you actually run a higher risk of knee tears, right? Ligament tears and things like this, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
then
makes
that's
that totally makes sense. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, I was going to make that downward dog happen.
Right. How many of us have had that yoga class where you go in feeling great and you're like, man, this is going to be epic. You come out hobbling like a 70-year-old, like, what the hell did I do?
Well, and with yoga too, one of the things that I try and always encourage people that if you're going to do yoga, and Leland,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're 100% on this, because I'm sure when you're teaching a class, you're especially talking on this, but like, how many times has someone gone to a yoga class where they go in there and kind of what Leland was saying about where they see someone else and they're like, oh, I got to get there.
Yeah.
But the teacher's teaching, and of course, with respect to the teacher, maybe they got 15 people in the class and they're trying to teach the class as a whole, but they're not verbalizing enough to each person that like stay in this position or something, because what's happening is they're moving on to the next position. Someone's just getting into this spot. Now they're rushing through it into the next piece. And so you're actually creating tears that your body can't keep up with that repair. And next thing you've got the stacking effect, right?
Right. And what happens, like he's talking about, when you overstretch the ligaments and the tendons or the fascia, fascia, like Michael mentioned, that's 85% of your body. And that's what holds everything together, all that connective tissue made up of elastin and collagen, right? So it's strong and it's stretchable. But when you go in there and you do those stretches, the wrong way or force it too much, now you're stretching those ligaments, tendons, and fascia so much, you've created pockets and tears and all these areas where dis-ease can set in for yourself.
Right. 1,000. Yeah. Oh, you're muted.
So that was actually a really good explanation, and I loved that. I've been seeing all of these different things with stretching fascia. What do you guys think of the stretching where, like, here in Huntington Beach, they literally have opened up a facility where you go in and somebody is stretching you?
Oh yeah, like a stretch zone. Yeah. I actually went to one to check it out.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
I did, because I was like, oh, this is interesting. Let's see what that's about, right? And
I know you have the same reaction I am. I'm like, oh, I want to be nice to these people. I really want to.
Yeah, right, exactly. I want to be nice. So I was less than impressed. The theoretical concepts are great, and who doesn't want to have somebody do the work for them, right? So that's great, right.
You just hit the point I was gonna hit. Keep going.
And the thing is, though, is that just like, okay, so from the nutrition side, okay, you got people that it's a staggering amount of people that don't have good bowel movements. Okay. So, it's a subject that really is a thing. And now the only reason why I'm broaching the subject is because there are so many people that are taking a laxative, for example, to have that bowel movement. And what
Really?
that does, yeah.
Well, okay, so we're getting into no, we're going to get into the poop discussion. So, I mean, you were being nice about it. I mean, I'm just going to be rude and just call it what it is.
I love it.
Okay, y'all, welcome to the shit show. Just kidding. just saying.
There's a lot of levels to that, I'm just saying.
Totally.
But what you're saying is actually huge, big, important.
No, it is. It is, because Hippocrates, right? He said all dis-ease starts in the gut.
Exactly.
Right? Now, he also said, which is lesser known, is that all healing also starts in the gut. So
exactly.
There's that.
Exactly. And he's the one they built the Hippocratic Oath off of, right? Exactly. And funny enough, the one part they don't mention, another one that he said was, let medicine be your food and food be your medicine. But they don't mention that in the do no harm thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, that doesn't make as much money for some.
No, of course. There's no repeat business in that. That's
I can say that, but
crap, don't do it yourself. You need me.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
It's funny you mentioned it too, because that's what I was going to say about the stretching things. Like, would somebody do this for me? I don't have time for this.
Right.
I'm busy. I need you to handle this lower region for me. It's really tight. Just take care of that for me. And while that's good in like physical therapy and you're just coming out of a surgery or whatever else, daily life, getting someone to stretch you for you, like, come on.
Well, and that's just it,
Hold
right?
on. Wait.
No,
Can I just, you guys, I want you, okay, we're about to take a dive. And yes, Joe, that is right. He says, that's my wife. Say it like it is. So,
I love it.
it is what it is.
Nothing less. I love that about you.
I love
Thank
that.
you. So I'm going to be real. Go figure. If I was looking for somebody to do it for me, it's because I truly just don't know how. I don't have the belief in me. I don't have the belief in me to even think I can know how. And I think in this day of instantaneous results, we aren't patient enough with ourselves. But I want to talk about the not worthiness to even do it in the first place. And the fact that, if you're not, why is it we would rather have somebody else do it for us than actually step into our own power? Is there some lack of belief in ourselves somewhere in that?
Yeah. That's, that's a big piece. Like Michael said, we're going to talk a lot on mindset, and a lot of that comes from the unconscious mind. And just like he said, about an eighth of your mind is conscious, right? So if you want a percentage, you can think of it 5 to 10% of your brain is conscious thinking memory, right? And then the rest of that, 85 to 90, percent ish, maybe even 95% is the unconscious memory. And that's because the body, this whole thing is literally the mind. So we've discovered that the brain is an artifact, right? That's your historical artifact. The mind is the brain in motion. Thereby, your body is your mind. So there's so many different pieces to that, like Michael mentioned. But one of the things that we have with that unworthiness piece is all of our past and all of that junk in the trunk that we carry around with us from our parents, from our friends, from unwanted relationships. Or
I'm not laughing. Just junk in the trunk is just killing me, dude. What the hell? But y'all, so for real, like, I mean, wasn't that a song? Just kidding. But just
in this day and age, it probably is probably a few of them.
So, and also, like, look, I'm right there. This is such an important, our mindset. You just said the mind is the brain in motion.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And with that, to what Leland was just saying too, right, is that in this society, here, I'll give you an example. So when we talk about mindset, which one's easier? So I'm going to expand on this, but which one's easier for you right now? If I say happiness, or I say anger or sorrow, right?
Automatically anger or sorrow pops up for me.
Right.
Happiness popped up.
Well, that's good.
That's great. So the majority, probably partially because you're doing a lot of the work, right?
Right.
That's the key. Now,
well, we want to. Well, yes,
yeah.
and that is really the important part here. But you're right when you said happiness or the other two. But I'm in my very happy place right now. So
that's also that. And part of that thing is like, so when we talk about gratitude practices, right? That one simple thing, just the thought of the decision that I'm going to implement a gratitude practice changes from a neuro-linguistic perspective, right? Now, but we have to actively be doing the work. You have to consistently be focusing on joy, happiness, bliss, gratitude, positivity stuff, right? And on some level, it comes easy because that's innately what we are. However, in our life and through the humdrum of the world, you don't have to look hard at all to find anger, resentment, fear, sorrow, blame, shame. That's now.
Right.
But you have to actually decide and put effort into happiness, joy, peace, love, connection. There are moments where that's not true, but the majority of it is.
Yeah. And it's so true, right? Like for us, happiness can be a very easy choice because we do the work. We're constantly focused on that. And to Michael's point, when we look at society, what are we? We're typically distracted. We're typically not focused on ourselves. We're focused externally. Oh my God, I got a ding on Facebook. Oh my God, I got a phone call coming in. I got to take little Johnny to soccer. I've got bills to pay. So we're trained to be distracted and completely disconnected from ourselves in such a way that whenever that question like Michael pops up, it's easy for you to think, well, it's been a shit day. So of course, anger's an easy one for me to pick.
Right.
When all you need to do is, I mean, something 2 or 3 times a day, 5 to 10 minutes, just focusing on what you're grateful for and stating to yourself how much you love yourself and what you love about yourself can literally shift everything neurolinguistically in just a matter of a couple of days. It's this amazing thing that I've noticed with clients. Just 2 to 3 days with a suicidal, patient, and talking to them and getting them to fill their own cup with gratitude and everything that they love about themselves. There's this switch where they literally come back days later and they're like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I don't know what space I was in. I don't even know who that person was. And it's all because they have now trained themselves and spent time here instead of out there.
I'm loving this where you guys are at right now, because I've been in these places in my life, and I was in deep victim mode. I needed a ambulance and seriously to pull my head out of my ass. I mean, not that I'm not compassionate with where I was at that time or anybody who's ever felt that way, because I understand it. Without your dark, though, you wouldn't know your spark. And I say this all the time, because that's it right there.
Yeah.
So the appreciation for me, I want to give what you just said is the most important part of how I have pulled out of every dark space I've been in. And I've been in some dark spaces, was to find that grateful beingness within me, to find that one person who helped me to be the me that I needed to be. Okay.
Which is you.
Yeah, exactly. Which was me. Which was me all along, but this disconnected, and this is something I really want you to dive into here, because it's vital. I see people, and I used to be so disconnected. When somebody would say to me, well, you need to be present. I'm like, well, fuck, I am present. I am
pissed that you said to be
I'm
present.
here.
Present enough to get pissed off at your statement.
I'm present. What do they mean by I've got to get present? What was Eckhart totally talking about? Hit yourself. What the hell? Didn't get that disconnect was the disconnect from my heart,
From your inner child,
my inner,
soul.
all of it, total disconnect. And it was many, many, many years it took me to finally get to the point where I got the value of our breath, or the value of me, or all of those things. So I want to talk, though, to those that are in that disconnect, because I do understand how intense it can be. As a matter of fact, this might be a great time to even take people into a journey with you for a moment. When you two are ready and feel led, just let me know.
Yeah, can I share two things on this? So I want to share 2 different perspectives, and one's going to be like, oh shit, he just jumped off the ship, kind of thing. For some people, other people it might be like, wow, that was really profound. So step 1, Abraham Hicks once gave this great analogy. If someone is specifically positive, that person that you walk in the room and they're just like, and then you got this other person who's very specifically negative, right? They've got something, they're just really just, my life, life sucks, right? That person and that person, you can't help that person from that specifically negative get to the specifically positive, because it's a literal polarity shift. Okay. And she suggested that the way to bridge the gap is you have to take somebody from specifically negative to generally negative. Then from there, you can go from generally negative to generally positive. Easier gap. Now you can get from generally positive to specifically positive. but you can't bridge from one to the other. Now, what you were speaking to before is that disconnect. And we've all, I dare say we've all felt it at some juncture in our life.
Yeah.
Various levels, right? And two parts of this to this scenario is that, one, the work never ends. And it's really important, I think, that people realize this. There is no one pill. There is no magic lotion or potion, right? It doesn't work like that, right? But when you do the work, if you become that work, and not the work that pays the man, right? You become that work, and that work then fulfills you, and it becomes easier then. It becomes not work, it becomes life.
Right.
Now, I would like to take that one step further and speak to the fact that this is what I'm about to say is spiritual. It's not about religion. Okay. So everybody can take it with whatever grain of salt and take what feels good and reduce the rest. I have zero attachment to it. Right. But you're the soul connected in one to your higher soul, connected in one to whatever it is you believe in. Right. Okay. We are not the body. We're not the thoughts, and you're not the emotions. And so when we're having this experience where my body hurts, well, what hurts? My body. Are you your body? Some people immediately are like, well, yeah, of course. But no, you're not. You lose an arm. You didn't die. You lost the arm, but you're still alive unless you bled out, which is a different discussion, right? Okay, right? But you're not your body. You're also, you're having this day where you're just emotionally a wreck. But that's because in that moment, you, the soul, the I am, has lost control of the body, thoughts, and emotions. So you, in that moment, are those emotions, but you're actually not. And so the moment that we can step back through breath helps us do it. It brings us into presence of now, right? Through meditation, all these different things. But when you can step back and remember this too shall pass statement, right? I'm not these emotions. I'm the observer of these emotions. I might even be the creator of these emotions. I'm the mover of the body. I'm the thinker of the thoughts, but these are not the I. So now from that state, I'm back in power. So now I can say, well, it's interesting that I'm observing that so-and-so's whatever has triggered this type of feeling, but now I'm not feeling it. I'm observing that this is a feeling that's happening. So now I can work from that and decide, do I want to sit in that soup? Do I want to release that? How can I use this to grow? How can I use this to help someone else? How can I use this in service? And that's in the case of all those things. And to the point of, why do people feel that they can't do these things? It's not that you're not empowered. You are empowered. It's that you've fallen asleep. You forgot that you are an empowered being that came into this world with everything that you need to do anything and everything you desire and beyond what you currently think is possible.
Yeah.
Right. And our innate, ingrained, I guess I should say, desire for ease. Give me that pill. Give me that show. Give me this thing, right? So that I can numb out, well out, and have someone else do the work. That is because there is this side to us that is comfortable. And when you get into the 6 human needs, right, one of them is certainty. Well, I'm certain in this moment that I understand this surrounding, but it's through that pain, that growth.
Yeah. I have a question, because I'm certainty. I know there's nothing certain. I'm certain there's no certainty.
Yeah.
I'm certain there's no certainty. How the hell could that be one of our needs when there is? I have never yet had certainty.
Well, and funny enough, when you look at where those needs come from, they come from the hierarchy of needs, right? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It comes from a psychology standpoint. So
totally.
God bless them. It's why I'm becoming a neuropsychologist, so I can help, not fix, that's the wrong word, but help guide that whole train wreck back onto the tracks, to the point where we can actually start serving the person as a whole, instead of just dealing with like talk therapy. Because certainty, while that's one of our pieces on the human side, has become this illusion that we've alluded to, that if I don't have certainty, I don't have peace. If I don't have certainty, I don't have anything in my life. I'm just a leaf in the wind, right? And
Right.
that
Expand on
uncertainty is where our power is found.
exactly. Well, and to expand on that, you know, I was hoping that you would, but you know, to expand on that is like everyone, more than not, or at least at some point, right? To be fair to the everyone statement, everyone looks outside of themselves
Yeah.
for that thing.
Yeah.
When I have this, I'll be happy. When
Boom.
this thing happens, I'll be happy. When, you know, and all that is to say, I am not powerful. I need this thing to become powerful. I need that person to be powerful. I need, right? And we've all done it. I have come to the depths of the complete shattered and practiced the art of kintsugi on myself to become Michael Ronin.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and to a statement that you said before, Debbie, because I don't want to forget on it, is, you know, you talked about, you know, the light and the dark, right? And I guess I would just like to share this, is that you're right. You can't know the light if you don't know the dark, right? And I have this tattoo on my arm, right? It says, "Which wolf are you feeding?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And that's based on that concept. Okay, but here's the thing: because you can't know the light without the dark, and I can speak that I was born in darkness, right? And I strived for the light. It's how I've come on my journey to become who I am, right? But the thing is that there's a point in time, and it took the better chunk of this existence in this vessel to get to this point. But there's a point when you realize, or when you can potentially realize, that just like I'm not the body, thoughts, or emotions, I have the opportunity to be in the now. You get in your car, you got your rear view mirror, you got your front mirror. The rear view mirror is small. It's small because you look back for the purpose of seeing where you came from, to be able to see what's coming potentially from the back, to grow from it. But it's not to dwell in it, which is to what Leland was talking about the talk therapy, right? It's like always sitting in the soup. You're never going to get out of it. No one will, right? You know, and you're only going to feel better because you're in that moment, and then you're not, you know, it's just like a reciprocal method. Now, the front rear mirror, or the front drive mirror, is huge, but it's so that you can see the infinite possibilities.
Right.
The idea is to be present now. And in the now, there is no good or bad.
Right.
Good or bad is a perspective. Light and dark is a perspective.
Yeah.
Right? You have this moment and now. And when you're present, truly present, and you're doing that self-work, that cultivation, that honoring of your spiritual, energetic being. Because when the body dies, energy just changes shape, right? So take that scientifically, you can go esoterically, you can go in any direction with that statement, right? But the truth is that when you're now, there is no good or bad. There just is.
Right.
And that's not saying to flatline life. It's saying that every moment is good, right? This interaction, it's like, this is wonderful. I love it. It's one of the things we love about the Dalai Lama, right? He says, you know, someone comes in and they say, "Oh man, all this plane crash and all these people died," you know, and he's like, "Oh." A couple minutes later, someone comes in and they say, "But we opened a new orphanage and 45 children have a new school." He's like, right? And it's whatever that moment is. You're in it, you experience it, you let it go, detach, because you're now. There is only now.
Right. And that's, you know, it's awesome that he spoke to that too, because one of the pieces when you're in the now is you can look, like he said, in the rear view mirror, see the pieces that supposedly broke you. There's no breaking you, obviously, you're right here, but you can look at those pieces, and the moment that you start to love what you went through, the moment that you start to love what happened to you, the moment that you start to love the things that have shaped who you are, is the moment you can step into your power, like Michael and I are doing. And that's the moment you can get out of your own way, and then you can serve other people, because now your cup is overrunning so much that you can give to others. You know, one of the biggest fallacies I hear all the time is pour from a full cup. No, don't pour from a full cup, because now you're not going to have a full cup. Have your cup so overflowing that you pour from the saucer,
and it's always fresh.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
You guys are just like, feed me, Seymour. So, you know, no matter how long you're on this journey, no matter how long you're always going to be on this journey till you take your last breath on this earth, is what I think. And I'm always here to learn more and
Then the next
expand.
adventure begins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right? So,
Yeah.
like, right now, right here in this moment, I just have all this extreme gratefulness for the reminders, for the enlightened perspectives that I didn't see before, which I happen to think are just amazing. Absolutely amazing. But one of the things that came up, and I wanted to mention this because it's so important. I want to be the light here where Michael and Leland were really getting into being present in the now, and also thinking that you need to be somewhere you're not in order to be.
Yeah.
In order to be happy, in order to be this, in order to be that. Oh, I'm going to do that thing when this thing happens. So then I'll do that thing. And then I'm going to be that thing that I know that I'm going to be. But I know that if I'm not,
Which none of it matters.
which all of
you
it's
have to do is
bullshit.
be. That's it.
I love
The
you.
self-control
Oh, no.
structure and stuff is like,
Yeah.
what?
Wait, but dude, like, listen, y'all, listen. I've been there. Everything in my life stripped from me.
Yeah.
Everything's gone.
Yeah.
This is no bullshit.
Yeah.
All of it. Just not. Oh,
That's how I got
there,
where I'm at.
dude.
Yeah,
Like
same.
the only thing you've got left is your breath,
That's it.
and you,
Yeah,
and
That's
and that's it. That's it. There is nothing else. And in that moment, it was all about this is an adventure, is what it is.
There you go.
And all of those things that I thought that I lost were nothing.
Right.
Materialistic crap does not matter.
No.
The only thing that mattered was the people. Who could I be of service to? And when you're in that, when I was in those spots, I mean, it's all on Facebook. I've been doing this for almost 6 years. What I'm talking about, what I went through, is there. So if anybody has any doubt as to the validity of what's being said, let me be the light that tells you, oh, hell, this is true. If you can't get happy where you're at, you may as well sit there and stay in your soup and enjoy it a little bit longer. Add some more onions and some more add some stuff. See if you can just keep doing what they did in the old days. Put a shoe in there, see if you can flavor it up a little.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just
Oh my goodness.
get a straw.
love it.
Yes.
Love it on it. No, but for real.
Which a lot of people do.
Yeah, they do. They do. And like to your point, when we're present,
I know who this is. This is John Fiore.
Oh, nice.
She is speaking truth. Damn right, John. You know it.
Love it.
So,
I love it.
okay. So what I want you guys to tell everybody really quickly, and Leland, I apologize for interrupting you. I do want whatever you got to say as something we want to hear, but I really want you guys to tell everybody what it is that you're doing on Saturday really quickly, because all of this we're talking about is beautiful, but there's people out there going, yeah, but that's cool that they know how to do that. I don't have a clue what they're talking about. And
that's
how do we help them?
Actually. So Saturday we have what's called Unlock Your Life Potential, right? And the great thing is we realize there's no cookie cutter, there's no one solution for this. So we came out with a series and a whole program for everybody where once a month we'll have these 2-hour check-ins with you, teaching you pieces to the puzzle that you can use. And then of course on the side you have myself and Michael and all the wisdom that we have to help walk you through the process. So on Saturday, we're going to be going over some big pieces like mindset and the M word, the big one that everybody tries to stay away from, of course, and some of the myths and fallacies that are built around that. So that way we can kind of demystify the process and help you realize that it's just as simple as being in the moment and noticing thoughts, not silencing the mind, because that's when you're dead. That's the only time that happens. So you don't want that to happen right now. If you've silenced your mind, you've gone too far. I can't help you. I'm sorry. So we have a lot that is centered around breath work as well, right? And that helps us get present and get now. And here in a minute, if you want, Michael, I'll ground them in, leave their head down, you get them on the neck rolls and take them into a meditation if you want to do that. And then we can give like a piece, an example of what we're going to be bringing to everybody. everybody.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I'd like to also add to what Leland was just saying is that, in this seminar, it's an experiential event. Every single one of them. Each one of these is its own tutorial.
Right.
If you only attended one, you would have so many skills and tools to work with in your journey that doesn't end, right? But then each one kind of builds and stacks upon the next. All of them having elements of breath, elements of mindset, elements, right? But each of them because it is a total body system. So you have all these aspects of your body. And so they're all going to gravitate towards that. But through this process, we're not just going to be talking at you, sharing facts, right? We're going to give you some science with experience with some science, right? A little esoteric sprinkling, right?
Yeah, you got to have the woo-woo too, right?
Right.
You can't, yeah, well, the woo-woo to the wow, rock on.
You got it.
Spirituality has gone wild. And I am excited about this because, well, first off, for everybody who are watching now and in the replay, the link is in the chat. If you haven't experienced breath work before, if you haven't experienced appreciating your life for where it sits right now, it's probably a really great idea to join. And what I'm digging is that you've got all these tools and everything that they can get. So each component of this is such a vital part of what you need in your life as far as tools go. Because I have to get new tools. I need new tools all the time. I'm like a tool junkie. I need them. Give me a life tool junkie. I am that. I swear to you. I'm ridiculous. I can't get enough. I am constantly feed me. I need more input.
I love it. I love it. We got your back then. We totally got your back.
We do for sure. And one of the fun parts with that too is like, it's funny. There's two parts to it. Like one part, I'm like, yeah. I mean, we like what Leland said. We got that. We got tons of tools, tons of ways to go about things, and different perspective shifts. And so I don't forget. Leland mentioned about the wisdoms, right? And I wanted to speak to that because of something that you also said, Debbie, with having gone through like in the thick of it, right? To get to where you're at, you had to have everything stripped away in order to become who you are. Truly. And that's where the gratitude is. And what if the worst thing that happened to you was the best thing that happened for you?
Bam.
Right. And yeah, exactly. And
can we wait. We're gonna just, what if
the worst thing that happened to you
that happened, oh, this is good, happened to you
was actually the best thing, was the best thing that happened for you?
So many people's heads just exploded.
It's true though. It's like when you can sit there and come to that reality that this is happening to grow me.
Yes.
This is happening to allow me to become something that I don't know. And it's in that unknown that the magic happens.
Yes. Absolutely. It's that piece, there's a lot that Michael has gone through as well, but just for instance, if I didn't break my neck, if I didn't have to learn how to walk again, I possibly wouldn't have found yoga. Or maybe I didn't find yoga until I was in my 40s and 50s, and then I would have missed this whole piece of my life to where I get to serve other people with what I have discovered, because the worst thing that happened to me was the fucking best thing that happened to me ever.
It's and here, okay, so I'm gonna supercharge it. Ready? What if during the hot moments, okay, because I have had these.
Yeah.
I promise you I'm so perfectly human. So what if here's what I challenge: supercharge it to when you're in the experience and you're like, what the hell is going on? And you're feeling that and you're going into that victim mode. So what I did is recently, I said, and it's for my best and highest good. I don't know why I have, because it's the stuff that's coming up that needs to become up so you can see what it is. Yeah. You can't clear it till you see it. When you see it, you're like, ping!
Exactly.
Bye! Totally. So I was just like, so I love where you guys are taking this, because there's so much in that. it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, and I thought it was really hard.
Yes.
Right. That's the
It's
thing.
Yeah,
gratitude.
that's what we thought too when we were going through it, right? And I think one of
Right,
the things,
totally.
one of my mantras that helps me when I'm in it, and Michael and I hold each other accountable all the time. We're like, is it really that bad? You know, we check in with each other all the time when either one of us has those moments. Is, what is this pain teaching me right now?
Right.
What is this moment teaching me right now? And it's not the easiest thing to ask yourself, but just that awareness, like you mentioned, Debbie, is the first step in change. If you can give yourself awareness to what is happening, now you have a shift point. Now you have a pivot area where you can decide, I don't like that shit. I'm going to go this way.
Right.
Oh, yes,
Right.
pivots. Okay, so
And change your state immediately. Right?
Yes, which we're about to do right now.
Yeah.
oh, I just got, you guys are just amazing. And I can promise you, whether you're watching right now or on the replay, even if the event's already passed by, there's a recorded copy of it, and you need to still reach out and ask us how to take the class, which is already passed if you are watching this later. Okay.
Absolutely.
But if you're watching right now, you're about to get a really beautiful example of what you're in for on Saturday. Time to reclaim your life and unlearn and relearn some things that are actually going to probably give you an experience that you like more.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give the screen over to these beautiful men and
All right.
allow them to take you on a journey. And I will see you shortly.
Awesome. Awesome. And Michael, I'll go ahead and drop them, ground them. And then after the neck rolls, you go ahead and breath experience and meditate them out of the world.
Sounds good. Good.
All right. So wherever you are, go ahead, sit back all the way on your chair. Let your back be up against the back of the seat. Just notice your feet on the ground and let your chin just fall to your chest. No need to force it. And as you're looking down, that sends the signal to your brain. All is well. I am safe. I am right where I should be. Notice your feet on the ground. Notice the seat supporting you. And just start to tune in, check in with the body here and now. No need for judgment or change, just noticing. And now start to pull your belly button in towards your spine. Really pull in those intrinsic muscles. Keep them engaged. Continue to hold there for just a moment. And this helps pull all that mind chatter down away from the brain where it can be burned up and used for fuel inside of that furnace of heat that you're building. Continue to pull everything in for just a moment longer. And now very slowly start to release. And from the belly all the way to the head, as you inhale, let your belly inflate into your chest, up to the top of your eyes. And as you exhale through your chest, press your belly button to your spine. And one more. Inhale, big belly, into your chest, into the back of your eyes, washing around. And exhale through your chest, press your belly button to your spine. All you, Michael.
Okay. So we're going to do an experience of breath that's going to allow you to supercharge. So you can kind of stay where you're at, but we're going to do an activated breath, but it's going to be in a relaxed state. So we can stay kind of in a downed position. All right. So we're going to start out and you're going to breathe through your nose and it's going to have a sound. So you want to be breathing in and have that sound go. And then exhale out the mouth. And this time in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's continue breathing in and out. In, out. Again, in and out. Let the body kind of rock in and then out. like an ocean wave. Breathe in and out. A couple more. Breathe in and out. In and out. And this time, breathe in full. Hold it. And close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, holding that breath, look to the space between the eyebrows, the ajna, and the third eye, looking out to the sky. Hold that breath. Observe any sensations and pulsations. And then begin to exhale slowly, softly through pursed lips, like a thin stream, so like a ninja that no one knows that you're doing it. And then right away, we're going to go do one more round of that. So breathe in through the nose like a rocking motion. And out. In and out. In and out. In, out. With sound and out. In, out. 3 more. In, out. In, out. And now breathe in. Hold it. Eyes are closed. Again, looking through that space between the eyebrows. Only this time you're going to take that saliva that's in your mouth and you're going to move the air as you swallow that saliva down, moving the air down to the belly, allowing it to get big and rounded. Hold your breath there, being aware that you are full of oxygen. You're full of the vital life force. And now begin to check in. Check into your body with your eyes closed. When you really feel that it's time for you to exhale, you'll do so in a natural state. But for now, I want you to come into your senses. Your eyes are closed. And bring your awareness to the most prevalent feel. Maybe you feel your butt sitting, or your arms are heavy, or your hand. Maybe you feel the breeze in the room. Observe what you're feeling. Complete awareness and presence on sensation. If you haven't already, feel free to breathe out and have your next inhales be through the belly, slow and soft. And now with your awareness on your body, bring your awareness to what you hear. Listen for every sound. Maybe you hear a fly in the room, or the car outside, or the clock. Maybe you hear your own breath. Become completely aware of every sound. Good. And now, let's bring the awareness to the taste. What do you taste right now? What does your mouth taste like? What does your saliva taste like? What does your air taste like? you notice copper tones in the flavor. Good. And now, keeping your eyes closed, what do you see? Allow your eyes with the lids closed to expand. What do you see? Do you see color? Do you see lines or shapes? Do you have a techno beat going on in your eyes? Just observe what you see. And sticking with this presence of now, let's bring them together. Become aware of what you feel, physically feel. Add to that, what do you hear? Staying completely present, what do I feel? What do I hear? Add to that, what do I taste? Add to that, what do I see? And now, what do I smell? What do I smell right now in this room? Every subtle smell. Now we take it a step further. Complete awareness on observing what you feel, what you hear, what you see and taste, and what you smell. And take a breath in any way that feels comfortable. And now exhale out. And your next inhale, begin to count with your belly expanding. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out slow. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying aware, continue to breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out slow. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're breathing one more round, being aware of the body. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 8, 7. Awareness of the body. 3, 2, 1. Breathe natural and observe that you are still present in your awareness of your feeling on the physical body, the smell, the taste, the sight, and the hearing. And we'll take it one final step further for today. Repeat in your mind or out loud, I completely detach from all people, all places, all time, all space, all events and beliefs in my life now. And we do it again. This time, visualize your body with your eyes closed. See yourself sitting or laying down, whichever position you're in. And see all these cords attached to you, all these white cords. And again, with your complete awareness of sight, sound, smell, and taste, breath, seeing these white cords, repeat. Take it even further. I, the soul, completely, fully detach and release any and all cords from all people, all places, all time, all space, all events and beliefs in this and all lifetimes, in this and all dimensions. Now. And see yourself with your hand like a white saber, cutting all the cords. See them all being cut away from you. And then say, I release you. And visualize purple flame, a violet flame, and send it out with love and forgiveness and release, dissolving all those cords as they transmit back to the source from which they came. And just like in the soil, see yourself, your body, and where those roots, where those lines connected to, pull out all the roots, sending them back out and say, I release all that is not mine. I release all that is not mine. I release all that is not mine. And one last piece. See yourself as a being of light, connected to the infinite all, your true power. And know that you are abundant. And so repeat this one final thing and see the light coming back to you. I, the soul, call all my power from all people, places, times, space, and events. I call back all my power into this body now. I call back all my power now. And take one big breath in, any way you want. Breathe it in. Come into your body. And as you exhale, open your eyes and see the world new.
Thank you, Michael. My goodness. And just really quick, everybody that went through that, I want you to be easy with yourself. Don't just get up and start doing chores right away. Just notice for a moment that shift that you made. Michael, now created or helped you create you being an alchemist. You just decreased your stress hormones and rose your happy hormones and endorphins. So be easy with yourself after that.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was
Thank
awesome.
you. I wasn't expecting a cord cutting session, so I'm just really it was really spectacular. I thank you guys so very much. Gentlemen, I am so grateful and blessed and honored to have both of you here. It has been just an extraordinary time today with both of you. Remember, everybody out there, there's a link. It's in the chat. It is also in the description of this video. You can click on it and you can go to the event. If the event has already passed, no worries. There will be a replay and you can check into purchasing that. Okay. So I mention that like the class is like all of, what is it, $27?
Yeah. Yeah.
26.
And we're keeping it that way moving forward for everybody. So.
$27 and like, look, I can't even
3
go
cups of Starbucks.
3 cups of Starbucks. I spent $27 blinking my eyeballs. I don't know.
Debbie, we did that on purpose because, and not because the value isn't there, right? We actually intend to completely over deliver on an under promise, which is kind of the key thing that we do. But the thing is we wanted to create a platform with this first series. We wanted to create a platform where all the excuses can be gone, right? Yeah. Someone says, I can't afford it. Well, what you can't afford is to not put you before whatever it is that your story is telling you can't afford it for.
That's right.
Okay. But also then there's it doesn't align with the time. Well, we've got your back. You've got a whole week to review it. Yeah. Right. So, so you can find 2 hours, right? And so that piece is gone. But also, we wanted to allow people to realize that while there is that voice, or maybe there's multiple voices in there that are trying to hold you back, not hold you back, but give you an opportunity to choose authentically that you want to move forward in spite of story, blame, shame, past trauma, patterns, everything else, right? We wanted to give you, it's so like hard to say no to that. Why would you? Right? Why not take this experience, have the roller coaster ride of being able to learn all these tools, or for many people, just simply solidify them more. I already learned that thing. Great. Add more.
Right. Add more. Oh, there you go, right there. Because you can supercharge anything you think you already know.
Yeah.
Because we all are in our own little bubble of reality, and in our bubble of reality, it's beautiful when you meet other souls, and then we sort of meld them together a little bit.
I learn from you two all the time.
Yes.
I learn from you two all the time. Oh my God.
Yes. I was just going to say one last thing with that was that, we all too often, I've heard people say, well, I studied that. I already read that book, as if the work ended. And it's the moment that any of us decide, I've learned, every really good coach has at least one good coach.
Yep.
Right. Right. And why is that? Because you have to keep growing and evolving. And yes, maybe it's regurgitated information on some levels, but maybe this time it's going to hit you differently. Or this time it's going to remind you of that thing, that moment, that time where it's like, I have so much gratitude for that moment. Oh, now I'm filled with gratitude now. Oh, now I can shine love everywhere.
There you go. Yeah. And I love that. You guys are, jeez, whew. Okay, so we're a little bit past the hour, which is no big deal because we can do that because we choose to. Simple as that. If the procrastination that I have done in my own life, heads up. This was a beautiful session today. And if you're just now seeing this, go back to the beginning, go halfway through, go to 45 minutes in, and experience a beautiful cord cutting. And if you're watching this on the replay, which is going to be tomorrow night, and if it's tomorrow night, now I'm telling you because you're my future. Get it?
I love it. Yes,
I love it. Oh,
all right. All right, gentlemen. So you guys, we'll see you on Saturday. And also remember, Women Rising on Unify is Saturday morning, and it's relationships and connection, communication, and all those good things that we love to get deep into on Unify Women Rising. We'll see you bright and early, and then right after that, you guys can jump on over with Leland and Michael. I will see you tomorrow with Katie. Jiminy Cricket, she's gonna I just completely, did you see? I did that. I did that. I
It's
did
because
that.
Michael zoned you
I
out.
love hello. He did totally. Katie Chonakis. She is an actress and a dynamo with NFT. So you guys want to definitely check
I
this
love
out.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
great.
dude, this is gonna be crazy. She's into some stuff and
I'll be watching.
and Web3 stuff and all of this. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy what this young lady is slamming out there. I mean, she's
Love it.
just rock star. And she has a lot of really cool TV gigs, which I think is kind of fun. She's bringing that with her very, very enlightened perspective. I'm going to promise you.
I will be checking that one out for
Dude,
sure.
Yeah.
She's a kicker. All right, everybody. So we'll see you later. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you, Debbie.